welcome to, and hello everybody. Sorry, I just had to get myself on the camera there because I wanted to show you what was on my table here. This is going to be my next video, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. I'll go through it with you all. So I've got a few jigsaw puzzles there. Got a few jigsaw puzzles, a couple of annuals, the He-Man and She-Ra Christmas special, the He-Man series, the She-Ra series, the He-Man and She-Ra movie, The Secret of the Sword, and I've actually got a few of the comics as well. So today my new video is going to be about He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Now, I grew up with He-Man and the Masters of the Universe when it first started, all the way back in 1983. And the history of He-Man is quite interesting. Mattel passed up the opportunity to create the toys for Star Wars. So they passed up on that. I'm sure they're kicking themselves now. So they decided to go with Conan the Barbarian. When they actually saw the film Conan the Barbarian, they changed their minds and come up with their own idea. And so they started putting out toy commercials and all the rest of it. And Filmation, who actually created the actual He-Man series, said we could create an animation advert for you to sell you toys. And when Neil Scheimer, who was then head of Filmation, actually created the cartoon, and he actually saw the potential for a cartoon series of 65 22-minute cartoons. So he did 65 in the first series and 65 in the other. And after the success of the toy line of Masters of the Universe, they decided to create She-Ra, Princess of Power, like as his sister. Obviously that went down well, but not as well as He-Man. And then it was decided they wanted to create a movie of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. And this is it, Masters of the Universe, which is Canon produced it, and we all know the history of Canon. Yeah, sorry about this, my DVD there. Yes, we all know the history of Canon. That year they produced the full Superman film, but they halved the money they got from Warner Brothers for that, and used the other one half for the Superman film and the other half for Masters of the Universe. I might be wrong in my details, but I need to check on that. I will let you know. So after that, and of course the Masters of the Universe film is plagued with so many difficulties and so many problems, and they didn't have an ending for it. So the director decided to use some of his own money and create an ending for He-Man. And at the end, if you watch right to the end of the credits, Skeletor says, "I'll be back." And they were planning to do a sequel, but it ended up scrapping that and deciding to create Cyborg. The sets they were going to use for the Masters of the Universe film, the second one, were then created for Cyborg, which was Jean-Claude Van Damme film. So yes, I also, way back in 1986, started collecting the comics. I haven't got the first one. I've lost the first one, I think. And so I got all the issues right up until 1988, which was the 72nd issue of He-Man. I don't know why they stopped. Maybe maybe they plummeted. Maybe they weren't getting as much revenue. I don't know. But they stopped it after issue number 72. Mattel then changed the ideas of He-Man and decided to send him into space. Which they changed the logo. They just changed everything about it. And that wasn't very good. That didn't sell very well. But before they did that, they did release some of the characters from the He-Man film, Gwildor and Blade and all them. They released them. As I say, going back to the He-Man film, they didn't have Orko or anything like that, because that would probably prove too expensive to create, because Orko was floating. And in 2002, He-Man was recreated again to sell more toys when Mike Young Productions took over the animation and created their own He-Man, and they also included the Snake Men in that. Way back in I forget when it was, but when Mattel created the Snake Men, Lou Scheimer thought it was too late to put the Snake Men in the He-Man cartoon, because the He-Man cartoon was done, I think, by then. So they put them in She-Ra. I think that's the story. I'd have to check that out. I'm sorry, I haven't got all my facts straight. I just decided to do this on the hop like this. I do apologise if I've got any of my facts wrong. So anyway, yes. So this was a big part of my childhood. So many memories, so many, you know, because I had all the toys. I had Castle Grayskull. I had all the toys. I had all of it. I even had some jigsaw puzzles. One of these cost £1.25 in Tesco's, can you believe? And who remembers Waddingtons? Yes, so yes. Also in 1985, I think it was, they actually created the He-Man and She-Ra film, which was to introduce She-Ra, which was the first 5 episodes of She-Ra. They cut some bits out and then they created this. This has never been shown on terrestrial television ever. This has never been shown on terrestrial telly ever. So yeah. This has been shown though. The He-Man She-Ra Christmas special. This was shown in 1985 and then again in 1986. It was repeated. This actually is very good. If you watch Nostalgia Critic, he actually takes the mickey out of this film. Takes the mickey out of this with that song that they do. Yeah. So anyway. Yeah. So as I say, He-Man has been a big part of my childhood, and these are things I've just collected over the years. And I just wanted to do a short little video because I promised I would do it. And I've got my Christmas one coming up very shortly. I'll be doing it very shortly. So yeah. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm sorry it's only short, but I couldn't remember all the plot out details and everything. But when they did the He-Man figures and everything, they actually came with a little comic book as well and gave the history of the character and introduced them to the He-Man and all that. Yeah, so this has been a giant sized part of my childhood, and these are things I've collected over the years. Dolph Lundgren is pretty good in the He-Man film. You know, and he was given 3 or 4 outtakes to get the words right, and because not only did he do this, but he's also been in the Expendables. He's been in a film called Red Scorpion. I'll probably do another little video about that later on. Films that you probably didn't know that Dolph Lundgren was in, because he was also in a film called Dark Angel as well. And also this wasn't his first foray into the comic strip world. He actually did a film called The Punisher with Lou Gossett Jr. and that was a very good film. That was very action-packed, very 80s as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this short little video. I'm sorry it's not very long, but I will be doing my Christmas 1989 what was on TV, and 6 actors who've played Ebenezer Scrooge. I'll be putting that up shortly because I re-recorded it last week. And I didn't think it was good, but going back over it, I mean, because I don't normally like watching myself on the telly or talking about it, but I thought I'd put that up because a lot of people have said they don't like me going off script, or they have said they like me going off script, and I have go off script a few times on this one. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it was entertaining for you. I hope to do some more like this later on if I can find the Transformer toys and all this stuff. I've also got some Batman stuff. When Batman was made in 1989, I did a jigsaw puzzle of that, and the game, and the video, and I didn't have any of the toys because by then I was 14 and well. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and yeah, I hope to do some more like this later on. So under the series Do You Remember? So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you all very shortly. Thank you very much. Bye bye.